I made $12,000 today trading the London session, and my strategy only requires 3 steps. I did all of this on live, so let me break down the strategy to you now so you can see how to trade it in the future. The main basis of this strategy is you want London Open to take out the Asia low and then trade up into the Asia high, or vice versa, depending on what the current trend is for the day and where your POIs are. So starting off, you can see we have the Asia low and we have the Asia high up here. So the Asia high has actually already been swept, and you can see we traded down nicely down to that Asia low. So that would have been your first position to take, but that wasn't the trade that I actually had. The trade that I had, I waited for this Asia low to be swept, and this is my step 1. If you want this indicator, it's down in the description. It's an indicator I made for my members. It marks out your Asia session, London session, and New York session. But what I did, I waited for this Asia low to be taken, and then I'm looking to take a trade. So why did I first of all rather go for buys from this low rather than looking for sells from this high? Well, it's because when I go on my higher time frames, normally my 15, 30 minute and hourly, you want to look for something in the prior day or the prior couple of days that's actually an objective to be filled. So here we can see at this high, if we look left, there's nothing, right? We're at the high of what we've really been at for the last couple of days. However, if we look at the low, we can see we've got this half an hour fair value gap here, which we've just tapped into. So it's a great point that tells us we're going to fill this internal liquidity, and then we're going to come up here and take this external liquidity, being obviously a swing high. Another reason we're looking for buys, and this is a reason why so many people just disregard this, right? The trend is your friend. It's the most basic saying in trading, but if you zoom out and price has been moving upwards, don't try and catch a sell down, just try and catch a buy, because that way you should be right. You're not trying to reinvent the wheel and catch an amazing reversal. As long as price carries on doing what it has been doing, you will be right, and therefore you're stacking the averages in your favor. A lot of people try to fight the averages because they want to catch really good RR, 9, 10, 11, 12 RR trades. But you can still do that whilst following the trend, and I'm going to show you that today with this trade. But they're the two main things to consider. When we actually zoom out and look on a higher time frame basis, we're way more likely to catch buys than we are to catch sells. So I didn't go for that sell, and I've instead waited for now for us to sweep the Asia low, and now I'm looking at buys. So let's move on to step 2. So step 2 requires us to go on a slightly lower time frame and look for confirmations that price is in fact reversing after taking out low. So let's go down into the 1 minute. But actually before that, I want to show you a very easy way you can confirm it without necessarily needing to know an awful lot about market structure. So I'm sure we're all aware of what fair value gaps are. Now, with fair value gaps, we can either fill them or reject them. So here, for example, you can see we have a fair value gap. Price, as we are moving down, came into this bearish fair value gap and moved down. But notice how we didn't close above it. We just came into it, tapped into it, and then moved down, right? So we should do the exact same if we intend to continue moving down, right? There's no reason to disrespect these levels, which is interesting when you come down here and look at this most recent fair value gap. You can see price has actually traded above it and closed above it, which tells us that price is no longer reacting off these bearish levels and moving down. We're actually disrespecting these levels and aim to move higher. So it's really, really simple. When you have this level, you can, and I have a full video of this in my mentorship, very easy, but you can just enter a trade like this. Put your, obviously, TP on the high, stop loss on the low, as we always do, and really just enter off of this inversion. But for those of you that want to wait for a little bit more confirmation, and I'm sure some of you do, I'll break it down a little bit further on how I actually refined it. But I do this. This is absolutely fine to do. This is a great confirmation. But let's go down on the 1 minute and just look for slightly better and a slightly more confirmation. So we've obviously got a swing low and a swing high there. So if we're looking at market structure, we've got low, high, low, high. So we should obviously break the low in order to continue that trend. However, what we're hoping to do is have a low, high, low, and then high that breaks that current trend, right? Because then you can see rather than breaking lows, we're breaking highs, which confirms we're aiming for higher prices. So we're going to mark out our most recent swing high on the 1 minute time frame, which is here, and simply just wait until price disrespects it and breaks it. Okay, so right here, you can see price has taken that high. So now we've got a decent few confirmations. Even though it's so simple, really all we've done is wait for the Asia low to be broken and then wait for 1 minute high to be broken. But now you can see we're actually stacking up quite a few good confluences. We've got the half hour, we've got the trend, we've got our liquidity point, we've got lower time frame order flow. So even though it's so simple, it's actually quite a refined setup, and a setup that has quite a few confluences on its side. So now it's the final part, and that is just looking for the entry. And that is actually the simplest part in my opinion. So let's go ahead and move on to the entry. Right, for the entry, it's incredibly simple. All you want to do is wait for that 1 minute leg to be completed, and then I want you to draw one thing on your chart. Once you draw this one object on your chart, it will be so easy picking POIs for this strategy. So all it is a Fibonacci retracement, and the levels I want you to tick are 0, 1, and 0.5. And what this is going to do is split this leg into a premium and discount, right? So if you're looking at buys, you want to buy at a discount. If you're looking at premiums, you want to sell at a premium. So we're looking at buys out of this range. So we're only going to look for POIs within here. Now this makes it so much easier because it just narrows it down 100 times, right? It makes it so much easier. Let's go on the 1 minute. And you can see now, when we're actually looking at it, prior there would have been quite a few. You could have gone off this level here, these fair values, this order block. There's quite a few levels. However, when you draw on this, it narrows it down so much. And also, I find it means you're not being reactive with your entries. You're not seeing a big candle and getting in. You're actually waiting for the leg to fully form, fully retrace, and catch that clean next leg higher. So there's a few levels that I would target. And I'd either say this, obviously this is partial, this fair value gap here is partially in the premium, partially in the discount. So I wouldn't use that. You would actually use this fair value gap here, or what I did, which is use an order block for my entry. Now I went for the most discounted order block, which was this 1 minute one here. And there was also one slightly above it here, which you could have also used. Obviously, the more discounted your entry, the higher the RR is going to be. So the fact that this one is the lowest order block down, I knew it was going to provide really nice RR. And if we zoom out now, you can see, really, we've got everything we need. We've got our Asia low swept, our change of character, and our order block. So all we're going to do now is place our entry. So our entry obviously goes on the order block, our TP goes on that high, and our stop loss goes on the low. Now you'll notice 2.9 pips is very, very tight, especially if you're on prop firms that I am trading like multi 6-figure accounts. It's going to get a bit techie, so you want to move it up a little bit. I rounded this one up to 4. What I'll normally do is round it up to a full pip, so 3. But with this one, I added another one just because it's kind of crazy. 3 pip stop losses on a big prop firm account's kind of crazy with spreads and stuff. But anyway, that was my trade. It is as simple as that. So you can see 3 steps, but 3 very well thought out steps, okay? So let's play this entry on and wait till we tapped in. Right, so here you can see we tapped in. I was on live, by the way, marking this up. However, I jump off live at about 10 o'clock. So when it actually tapped in, I was off live, but I'll put a profit screenshot on the screen now of the completed trade. And I did catch this on my Alpha Capital Group funded account, which is a 200k funded account, which really enables me to catch big trades like this. I do have a discount code with Alpha Capital Group, so you can use my code RICHES at checkout when you're buying a prop firm. And they're a very good prop firm, boys. I've got no worries at all about this money coming through. So yeah, if you do want to get funded with Alpha, I'll leave a link to them in the description as well as my code. If you want to learn the way I trade, I have a mentorship, boys, which is $49 a month. And I also have Signals, which is $125 a month. So if you want all of that, it's all accessible down below or in my Discord. And obviously, boys, as I've said, I'm live every single day on YouTube, trading the London session for free with you guys. So if you want to check out any of my other trades, you can probably watch my lives back, or you can come into the next ones, boys. I hope you found this strategy helpful. I hope you found it simple, but also how a simple strategy traded the right way can make you high RR, and obviously traded on the right account, that high RR can make you upwards of 5 figures in just one trade in just one day. So boys and girls, hope you enjoyed watching this video. Hope you learned something new, and I'll catch you in the next one. Sweet.